Hello guys, and welcome to my first tutorial on how to improve your FPS, optimize your PC performance, and as well as find out your PC stats in general. So I'm going to be doing this on Windows. Of course, MacBooks is a little different, but for now, let's hop right into it. So the first thing you want to do on Windows, I am running Windows 10, you want to go to your device manager, which in most cases you can just search using your start menu. If you're unable to find it and for any reason, you can just go to your control panel, you go to devices and hardware, and it should say device manager there. Once you're in your device manager, you're able to see your display adapters, which is your GPU or your graphics card. So I have a NVIDIA GeForce GTX 970. Unfortunately here it doesn't say the brand, but some of you guys might show the brand. I have an actual MSI GTX 970, but it just pops up as NVIDIA because it's the drivers. If we go under processors, we can see the logical processors they have. There can be a lot of them, but I have an i7-870 that runs at 2.93 gigahertz. So this is an actual quad core, so you can technically take the number you see here and just divide it by 2. So in this case, I see 8 from bottom up. So that's 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4. But that's not always the case. You can always go to your task manager in the performance tab and you can see your base frequency, what it's currently running at. As you can see, I'm running a little higher. There's a reason for that. You can overclock and you can optimize. I have 4 cores and 8 logical processors, and that is why there is 8 over here. Aside from that, now we know our processor, which is our CPU, and we also know our GPU. You can also see your memory or RAM on the task manager or in the systems section of the control panel. So if we go to control panel, system security, and go to system, you can see that we have an i7, it shows our processor here too, and is the installed amount of RAM, which is 8 gigabytes. Typically, laptops run very low at 4. Most common laptops that are pretty high-end run at 8 or 16 gigabytes of RAM, 16 being optimal for our really high-end gaming. I'm running 8 because I'm not running high-end games at all. So now that we know our RAM, CPU, and stuff, we can debate whether our hard drive is as an SSD. So I recently upgraded mine to an SSD, and it's different to tell, but you should already know if the computer comes with an SSD, which is a solid-state drive, or flash memory, or a full HDD, which is a normal spinning hard drive. So if you really want to know how to check that, you can right click on your PC in the file explorer and hit manage. This will pull up the computer management. You can go to storage, disk management, and it's going to take a little while, and then you're going to be able to see which ones are your drives. Dependent on the computer, it might tell you if it is an SSD or not. Unfortunately for me, it's not showing that it is or not. But on Macintosh and others, it does show. Aside from that, now that you know your GPU and all your computer statistics, let's jump right into optimization. So I use this program called Driver Booster 5, currently updated. So you can just go Google Driver Booster 5. The first thing that pops up is IOBit, which is the actual website, and yes, it does a little sketchy. You can actually download it from cnet.com, that's where they link you to. So we're just going to jump straight into CNET. But as you can see, this website is the same as if we went to their website, you just hit free download. It's just going to take us to the CNET page. So if we go to the CNET page, it looks kind of sketchy, because that's obviously cnet.com with a lot of ads and like continue buttons everywhere. You're just going to have to use your common computer knowledge and just click this green button right here. It says download now. It does look really sketchy, but it's actually the real download. I already have it installed. You're going to run through the installer and install it. Once it's done, set up and installed, it's going to open up, and you should have something that looks like this in a bit. It's going to install, and it's going to ask if you want to scan now. Of course you want to scan now. It's going to scan the computer. It doesn't take too long, at most like a few minutes, even as less as a few seconds. It's going to run through the drivers, and obviously they have a premium subscription and stuff. But let's see here, I have my NVIDIA graphics card driver's outdated by one. It's going to tell you to upgrade to Pro. It's just, you can just ignore it for now. And you just click on update now, and it's going to do it automatically in the background. Your computer will flash if it's a graphics driver, and most likely tell you to restart your PC at the very end of it. However, you can just freely use your PC until then, really. After you update your drivers, a common issue with performance on Windows is people do not realize that they can unlock the potential for Windows. Oh, that's an interesting lag. So, in general, you go to your control panel, you go to System and Security. My computer's actually lagging while recording and running Wallpaper Engine and updating my drivers at the same time. So, we go to here, we go to Power Options, and most computers are always defaulted to Balanced or Power Saver. Some PCs don't even have these options, High Performance or any others, but that's why we can do it manually. But if it is not there, High Performance usually can actually hide under Show Additional Plans, and you just want to show it. If anything, you go to High Performance for the maximum performance. We can go into the plan settings, change the advanced plan settings, and we can manage the power and the processor power management in general. So minimum processor state means like the minimum power your processor can give at any state. So if you want your computer to be running at 100% power all the time, this is where you set it to 100%. Do not go anything above, and if you set it 0, that means you can literally tell it to not do anything when it's not doing anything. So if you want maximum power for any even small tasks as opening browser or File Explorer, you should always have this at 100 for the maximum speed. System cooling policy should always set as active, which means your CPU will always be cooled at the maximum possible, so it ensures that it is not going to overheat. If you set it to passive while you have processor set at 100, it's likely you will run into heating problems, which can cause some permanent damage to your parts. Maximum processor state should always be 100 as well. Minimum, so that means your PC will run at 100%. That is why my PC actually runs a little bit over of the CPU limit, which is 2.9, and it boosts up to like 3.2, as you can see. So that is how you boost your CPU, update your drivers, and update your power settings. Other than that, it's basic optimization of what you have running on your PC, whether that means startup items, Skype, Discord, Steam, updates. You can see the status right here. If you sort out what I have disabled is what we do not need on when we turn on our PC, and what we would like to have when we turn on our PC. I have drivers, I have Steam, I have Razer for my keyboard, Chrome, and Discord. Only update what's necessary, have running what's necessary. Other than what's running, you can always optimize your space. If your computer is low on space, it will tend to slow down. So always have at least 10 gigabytes open of space on your running drive. So that would be where your Windows is located. In most cases, you probably have Windows on the same drive as where all your games are. After you have that optimized, the other minor option is services. So if you have a lot of programs installed, you can go to MS config, or you can hit Windows button R, open up the run dialog. You can also type in MS config here. It's going to show up your system configurations. So I have mine set as normal because I don't need anything to be disabled. If you're running a low-end PC, then you could probably go to the Services tab here. Startup is obviously that I showed you earlier. Services tab, you click on Hide All Microsoft Services, and these are the programs, services that you have running. Now, if you know what each and every single service is, and you know whether or not it needs to be running or not, then this is what you should mess with. So, for example, BattleEye service is a service that is an anti-cheat for some games that I have playing, so I do need that service online. But if you're not using something, for example, Adobe Genuine Integrity Service. Like, if you don't need Adobe to be checking if your programs are genuine, which probably you do, or the Creative Cloud update, which means Adobe's going to update your programs, then you can turn off the service, hit apply, and next time your computer restarts, it won't run those services anymore. See, it's going to tell me to restart, but I'm not going to. So, that is how you optimize your computer, other than having a really intense wallpaper engine like this running in the background, or having too many programs out running at the same time. Those can lead to your ultimate performance dropping.